The PlayStation Store is running its under $20 sale right now, so I thought I would take a look at some deals not under $20, but under $10. Yeah, let's all be cheap as hell right now because I know a lot of you guys are saving up money for the next generation consoles. There's a bunch of games coming out this fall, so spending less than $10 is definitely going to be beneficial if you're looking to play on the budget side of things as we head into the new generation. Nevertheless, I do want to go over some great deals under $10 because there's a lot of great ones, so without further ado, let's get right into it. And I want to kick things off with Batman Arkham Knight, 75% off for just $4.99. Now, unfortunately, this is just the base game, but the base game for $5 is still really good. Arkham Knight is my least favorite of the three mainline Arkham games, much better than Arkham Origins, but that doesn't really say much given that Arkham Knight is still a really strong game. Great gameplay. Batmobile sections weren't my favorite, but I didn't hate it as much as most people, and the open world is enormous. Visuals are great. Combat is as good as ever. Story wasn't as compelling as Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, but still relatively good, and for $5, it's a steal. And I would give that a strong recommendation, especially at that price point. Next up, Tales of Berseria is 50% off for $9.99. This one has a free demo if you want to check this out. Tales of is one of the most consistent franchises in literally all of gaming. I wouldn't say that every game is absolutely amazing, but every game is definitely at least very good, with some of them cracking into that amazing tier and some of them being at a little bit lesser in that very good tier, but overall incredibly consistent. Tales of Berseria is an awesome one. What really differentiates the Tales of games from one another are the characters and the story. Berseria is strong in both regards because it has a pseudo anti-hero as a main character, and the story is incredibly compelling as well. And Tales of is incredibly consistent because it hasn't changed that much from its baseline formula in a long time. However, the next game, Tales of Arise, is completely flipping the franchise on its head, and it looks amazing. But Berseria is a great game, and for $10, I would definitely give it a strong recommendation. You know, the visuals aren't anything to write home about, but if you're a JRPG fan, that's probably not what you're going into a JRPG for. You're going in there for quality storytelling, quality character development, quality character interactions, and Berseria has all of that in spades. Next up, we have Red Faction Guerrilla Re-Mastered Edition. Red Faction Guerrilla is one of those games that I really enjoy. This came out back in June of 2009, and I picked it up right when it came out on the PlayStation 3, and I really enjoyed it. The strength in this game is definitely the destructibility. The destructibility in this game is crazy, just running around and smashing stuff with a sledgehammer. That never gets tiresome. The gameplay is good. The story isn't anything crazy. It's a typical revenge story, but it's pretty good, all things considered. A quality open world game. The explosions are insane when you just trigger a gigantic explosion and just towers come falling down. That's pretty cool when you can pull that off. $9 for it I think is pretty good. I hope Red Faction makes a bigger comeback sometime in the future. But at this point, just checking out Red Faction Guerrilla definitely worthwhile. Next up, we have Mark of the Ninja Remastered, 55% off for $9. Another game that I thoroughly enjoyed on last generation platforms. This is a 2D stealth action adventure game, and it's a really, really good one. Great presentation style, and this one obviously remastered, and key features include true stealth experience, player-centric gameplay, rewards choice, be it finishing the game without killing anyone or assassinating all who stand in your way. Special edition DLC included. Dozon's Tale adds a new character level items and dev commentary, stunning visuals, unique 2D visual style, featuring award-winning animation and hand-painted environments along lovingly remastered in 4K, and new full 5.1 surround mix and remastered audio. It's not an incredibly lengthy game, so that initial $19.99 price point to me was a little bit expensive, but at just $9, I think it's a really good buy at this price point, so give that a look if you're looking for an interesting stealth action title. Alright, next up, here's a game that really surprised me when it came out back in 2013, I believe, and that is South Park: The Stick of Truth. Look, when they told me we were going to get a South Park game that's a traditional RPG, I was like, okay, this game is going to be an absolute flop, and at this point, I didn't know about Obsidian that much. I didn't really know about every respective studio as well as I know them now, and I just took this game as a South Park RPG, and I was just like, okay, South Park RPG, you're about to tell me that's gonna be good? And yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Now, in retrospective, thinking about it, Obsidian was doing this game, so obviously it was gonna be pretty good. Now, I'm not the biggest South Park fan. I haven't even watched a full episode, I think, outside of, like, my friends putting it on while we all got drunk, but outside of actually sitting down and watching a full South Park episode, I don't think I've actually ever done that. However, this game to me was so easy to get into, even as a non-fan. The humor was super engaging, and honestly, if I was to watch South Park, it would be on the base of South Park: The Stick of Truth, me enjoying this game so much. $9 for it is excellent. If you're looking for something humorous, if you're looking for something that also has fundamental quality RPG elements, Stick of Truth is a great buy, and it's a hilarious game too, so strong recommendation for that one. Next up, Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered, $9.89 for this one. Assassin's Creed Rogue is like one of those forgotten games because this game came out initially in 2014 on the PlayStation 3 and 360. What's the problem with that? Well, the Xbox One and PS4 were out by then, and that year they actually got a Assassin's Creed game as well. They got Assassin's Creed Unity, as you guys might know, isn't very good. Assassin's Creed Rogue was actually the standout Assassin's Creed game that year. However, being on last generation platforms really did hold it back. Now it's available on the PS4 with the remastered version. If you enjoyed games like AC4, while I wouldn't say Rogue is as good as AC4, the naval combat is really strong, and the game is that fundamental Assassin's Creed old school gameplay that hopefully you guys know and love. I know and love it, and for $9.89 I think AC Rogue is a great pickup. Next up, Wolfenstein The New Order is 70% off for $6. This is just a good first-person shooter, like mechanically a really well-made first-person shooter. Wolfenstein, you know, zany at times, a little bit wacky. New Order kept it pretty serious, and it built on into New Colossus, so I would definitely give this one a shout. Great story here. Solid gameplay, one of the early games of this generation, but definitely one that set this generation on a strong tone. At this point, it's over 6 years old, but it still holds up relatively well, and again, sets the table for Wolfenstein The New Colossus, which is a game that I would strongly recommend you guys to play. Alright, next up, we have Borderlands The Handsome Collection. This includes Borderlands 2 as well as Borderlands the pre-sequel, and all of the game's respective DLCs. I think both games are better than Borderlands 3, especially Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2, to me, is an incredible game. It is just so much fun, and it's a game I've completed multiple times with buddies and on my own. Now, this idea that Borderlands can only be enjoyable with friends, yes, I get that the game does have an element of co-op that is emphasized, but I find Borderlands to be highly enjoyable solo as well. Maybe I'm in the minority on that, but I beat Borderlands 2 solo, I beat Borderlands 1 solo, beat Borderlands pre-sequel solo, and I beat all of those games with friends as well. I enjoy Borderlands, so it's easy for me to go back into these games, and they're always a fun time, and to get both 2 and pre-sequel with all the DLC for $9.99, that's a steal of a deal. Definitely check that out. Next up, we have Metro Redux, 70% off for $9. This, of course, includes Metro 2033, as well as Metro Last Light, 2 incredible atmospheric first-person shooters. No multiplayer here, but the single players more than make up the cost, and guess what? You're getting each game for essentially $4.50. That's pretty insane. The games are relatively lengthy as well, at, 9 to 12 hours if you take your time and really take in the environments, which I highly recommend you do. I think both of these games are stronger than Metro Exodus. Exodus is a good game, not quite at the quality level of 2033 or Last Light in my eyes, which I think are just incredible first-person shooters, so for $9, pick that up. And lastly, PS2 on PS4 game Bully by Rockstar is 40% off for $9. Are we ever gonna get Bully 2? Probably not. So why not go back and check out Bully? It's a very, very comical game, and yes, it's over the top at the time, but it's exactly what you want out of a game like this, and I find it highly entertaining. If you want a game to get like a little bit drunk and play, I think Bully is so hilarious that, yeah, this ain't a bad option. $9 for it is pretty good, all things considered, given that the Rockstar titles hold up in value. I mean, San Andreas is like $10.50 as a part of this sale, so yeah. Thinking about that, $9 for Bully I think is pretty good. Hopefully at some point we do get Bully 2, but honestly, I've been hoping for that for like goddamn 10 years, and I just don't know if that's ever going to come to fruition. But that's going to conclude this video. Again, this under $20 sale is actually pretty good. If you want to round out your lineup of PS4 games with some quality, cheaper titles, I think all of these fit the bill. But that's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.